Is Season 3 even happening? The answer is a resounding yes. HBO didn't waste any time. Before Season 2 even finished airing, they gave the green light for another season. That's a relief, right? Especially after that finale left us with more questions than answers. Remember that gunshot? The final shot of Abby in Seattle? We're not done yet. But when can we expect to see it? Here's where things get interesting. If you look at the timeline, Season 1 dropped in January 2023, and then we had to wait almost 2 years for Season 2. That's the HBO trend these days, long waits, but usually worth it. So, if history repeats itself, I'm betting on a January 2027 release for Season 3. Mark your calendars, but don't be surprised if there are a few bumps along the way. And before you get too comfortable, here's our first curiosity gap. Will the wait be worth it, or will the hype outpace what the show delivers? Only time will tell. Now, let's talk about the episode count. Season 2 only had 7 episodes. Did anyone else feel like that was way too short? I know I did. It felt like we barely scratched the surface of what could have happened. So, what's the plan for Season 3? If the show is going to mirror the game and show us Ellie's timeline from Abby's perspective, it would make sense to have at least the same number of episodes, maybe even more. My prediction? 8 episodes, giving us that extra room to dive deep into Abby's story and, hopefully, keep us on the edge of our seats. But here's a mystery box for you. Will the showrunners finally give us more of what we want, or will they hold back again? Okay, let's get into the story. If you've played the game, you know what's coming. Season 3 is almost certainly going to split the story between Ellie's 3 days in Seattle and Abby's 3 days. That means, for the first time, we'll really get to see the world through Abby's eyes. And if you thought you had your mind made up about her, think again. The show is setting us up to empathize with Abby, to see her pain, her trauma, and maybe even root for her. Remember those final moments in the Season 2 finale? Seattle Day 1 flashes on the screen as Abby wakes up. That's not just a nod to the game, it's a promise that we're about to go deep into her backstory. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. Abby's character is layered with pain and rage. Her father's death, her battles, her scars, both physical and emotional. Did you catch the bruising on her neck in that last confrontation with Ellie? That's classic Seraphite territory, but it could also hint at something even darker. Did Abby try to end things herself? Or is there more to her story that we haven't seen yet? This leads us to an even more intriguing question. Will Season 3 make us root for Abby over Ellie? And what does that mean for the entire series? Let's not forget Ellie. She was a tough character to love this season, wasn't she? If the show really leans into Abby's perspective, could we see a total flip in who we're rooting for? And what about that gunshot cliffhanger? Was it Abby, or someone else? Personally, I don't think Abby fired the shot. Remember, Dina was sleeping in another room. My theory? Dina heard the commotion and fired at Abby, which could set off a wild chain of events, Ellie, Tommy, and Dina trying to escape, setting up a killer ending for Season 3 and leaving the farm storyline for a potential Season 4. But what if I told you the showrunners have already hinted they'll need 4 seasons to wrap up the story? That means Season 3 could be all about Abby, with the final chapter focusing on Ellie and Dina's life on the farm. Imagine the emotional payoff if we finally see Abby's happier times with her dad, contrasting with the rage-fueled character we know now. And the world itself is changing. We're probably going to see more of Isaac Dixon and the WLF, and the war with the Seraphites is about to explode. That conflict was teased this season, but I think it's going to be front and center in Season 3. Plus, Cordyceps is now airborne. How's that going to change everything? The stakes just keep getting higher. Now, let's talk cast. If Season 3 is Abby-focused, does that mean less Bella Ramsey as Ellie? She's the face of the show, so I'm sure she'll be back, maybe more towards the end or halfway through, especially when we revisit that cliffhanger. I'm betting we'll see Abby's crew, Owen, Nora, Mel, Manny, and all the Seraphites, too. As for Joel, unless there are flashbacks, I think his story is done. We'll probably meet a bunch of new WLF characters as well, which should help flesh out Abby's world. On the flip side, I don't think we'll be heading back to Jackson next season, so characters like Seth, Maria, and Gail might not return until season 4. And with Jesse's fate sealed at the end of season 2, his story is definitely over. So, here's the big picture: The Last of Us season 3 is shaping up to be the most ambitious, controversial, and emotionally charged chapter yet. Will it live up to the hype? Will we finally get the answers we've been waiting for? Or will the show flip everything we thought we knew on its head? That's the mystery, and it's why I can't wait for what's next. If you want to stay ahead of every theory, every reveal, and every twist, make sure you're subscribed. Drop your predictions and wildest theories in the comments. Who are you rooting for, Ellie or Abby? And do you think season 3 will outshine what we just got? If you want to see breakdowns for every episode of season 2, check out the playlist below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, where the biggest surprises are still to come.